Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really staggering new infrastructure project that's honestly poised to completely transform how millions of us navigate one of the world's most bustling capitals. The cabinet just cleared a massive Rs 6,970 crore 6-lane megatunnel designed specifically to connect the Dwarka Expressway with Vasant Kunj, finally easing that massive West and South Delhi traffic gridlock. If you're into smart urban planning or just massive engineering feats, you are absolutely going to love this one.
But before we get into all the technical nuts and bolts, let's be real for a second. Have you ever found yourself just completely stuck in that bumper-to-bumper nightmare near Mahipur or the airport zone during peak hours? Yeah, it's an exhausting daily frustration for countless commuters. But what if you could just entirely bypass that chaotic surface-level mess? Imagine this invisible underground artery that lets you just glide right past the worst of it. Well, that is exactly the vision we're looking at today. So, here is our agenda for today. First up, Delhi's traffic bottleneck. Then, the Rs 6,970 crore solution. Next is inside the engineering plan, followed by protecting the Southern Ridge, and finally, the broader economic impact. All right, let's dive right in.
Section 1. Delhi's traffic bottleneck, the daily grind. To truly appreciate the solution here, we first really need to understand the problem. For years, there's been this glaring gap in connectivity between West Delhi, South Delhi, and the airport corridor. If you're traveling from Dwarka or Gurugram towards South Delhi right now, you're relying on surface roads that force you through multiple chaotic junctions, especially around Mahipur. The proposed alternative? A seamless, continuous underground route. Think about swapping that stressful stop-and-go commute for a totally uninterrupted, high-capacity bypass. It's a game changer.
Moving on to Section 2. The Rs 6,970 crore solution, a new artery. To tackle this issue head-on, the Union Cabinet just made a massive financial commitment. The exact approved cost is 6,969.67 crore, broadly reported as 6,970 crore. Now, this isn't just some minor road widening project. This is a heavy-duty, capital-intensive investment to build an 8.1-kilometer, 6-lane corridor, and it's slated for completion over the next 5 years. It's a pretty bold statement that the state is treating this as a serious, long-term infrastructure asset. In fact, officials have described this project not just as a road, but literally as a major new traffic artery for Delhi, and a huge boon for the city. It's fundamentally designed to act as this crucial pressure release valve for some of the capital's most heavily burdened transport zones. All right, Section 3. Inside the engineering plan. Zooming in.
Let's kind of mentally map this route out together. The project kicks off at the Shivmurti Interchange on the Dwarka Expressway, right near the airport. From there, it travels directly towards Vasant Kunj, terminating just before the intersection of Nelson Mandela Marg and the Mahipur-Chhatarpur Road. But the vision actually goes further. Eventually, this whole project is expected to connect with a proposed elevated corridor heading toward Ames, ultimately linking up with the Barapula network. So we're talking about seamlessly tying West Delhi, South Delhi, East Delhi, Ghaziabad, and Noida all together in one go.
But here is where it gets really fascinating. The headlines all say megatunnel, right? But actually, scratch that. It's way more than just a tunnel. It's a fully integrated multimodal mobility corridor. Out of the 8.1 kilometers, the main tunnel itself is 3.14 kilometers. But you've also got 2.556 kilometers of elevated roads, almost a kilometer of approach ramps, and at-grade road sections. To manage all that traffic efficiently at the Vasant Kunj end, the plan even includes a new elevated road on Nelson Mandela Marg, an additional flyover, and an elevated U-turn facility. So yeah, it's the whole shebang. Which brings us to Section 4. Protecting the Southern Ridge. Engineering versus environment.
Obviously, building a massive structure like this in the middle of a dense metropolis is a massive engineering and ecological challenge. But before we talk about the environment, let's briefly look at how they're even paying for it. The project is being executed under the Hybrid Annuity Mode, or HAM. Essentially, HAM is a smart funding model where the government and a private company share the financing and construction responsibilities. For a politically and environmentally sensitive project like this one, it greatly reduces the immediate financial burden while still allowing the government to retain strategic control.
Now for the really tricky part. A massive hurdle for this project was navigating the Southern Ridge, which people passionately call the lungs of Delhi. To protect this super-sensitive ecological area, the alignment was deliberately chosen so that 1.98 kilometers of this twin-tube tunnel will pass directly underneath the protected forest in the Rangpuri section. By using advanced tunnel boring machines, or TBMs, engineers can carve out the tunnel from below, ensuring absolutely zero surface disruption to the forest above. It's honestly a fantastic example of balancing urban development with environmental preservation.
And finally, Section 5, the broader economic impact, zooming out.
So once this thing is operational, this high-capacity bypass is expected to handle a staggering 37,000 cars per day. That is a massive volume of traffic being completely redirected away from existing overloaded surface roads. But it's not just about saving a few minutes of travel time. For a city like Delhi, bypassing surface bottlenecks reduces travel uncertainty. Knowing your trip will definitely take exactly 20 minutes, rather than anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the day, that has immense economic value. Plus, this corridor is designed to support movement to 6 PM Gati Shakti economic nodes and 4 logistics nodes, which deeply integrates it into the broader trade and freight network.
And then, of course, there is the immediate economic injection, 17.34 lakh person days of employment. According to the official release, just the construction of this tunnel will generate roughly 7.54 lakh person days of direct employment and another 9.80 lakh person days of indirect employment. So, well beyond the long-term benefits of improved business connectivity, the mere act of building this megastructure provides a massive, immediate boost in jobs.
Which kind of leaves us with this final thought. We are watching Delhi invest nearly 7,000 crore rupees to literally bury its traffic problems beneath the earth, using state-of-the-art tunnel boring machines to protect natural forests while moving tens of thousands of cars every single day. As mega projects like this one continue to reshape our urban landscapes, we have to ask, will seamless, invisible underground travel become the absolute new standard for surviving and thriving in the megacities of our future? It certainly seems like the Dwarka Vasant Kunj tunnel is pointing us in that direction. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this deep dive brought some clarity to an incredible project. Until next time, keep learning and keep looking beneath the surface.